Hi everyone, welcome to week 4. Before we begin, I want to remind you of the Helpful Links resource I have available for you at the top of our Moodle page. When I'm grading your papers and refer to the Helpful Links link, here's where I want you to go. I have links available with information on grammar, conclusions, introductions, and more. The section I specifically want to point out is the transitions. I noticed on your last paper that several of you were having problems transitioning from one idea to another or one paragraph to another. When you click here, it gives you a lot of good examples of transition words you can use. Here it has words you might use when comparing two items, or here when you need to prove something in your paper. It also has example words for when you need to summarize or conclude your paper. I don't really want you to use "in conclusion" since it sounds more like a high school paper, but the others here work well. If you're having problems with transitions or other aspects of your paper, be sure to come back and check out these helpful links. Okay, now on to week 4. Don't forget to continue working on your Easy Writer study plan. It will be due at the end of week 5, and you don't want to leave all the tutorials and quizzes until the last minute. Next is our readings. Be sure to read over the information on summary response in your reading for this week. In your next essay, summary will make up the first part of the paper, and then in the second part you'll get to respond to what you're reading. This first reading goes into depth on responses and the 3 types of them. Then this PowerPoint gives more details, and the last slide gives you the organization for what your summary and response should contain. Next we have a reading on transitions, which are vital to writing a good response, and a reading to help you learn more about writing thesis statements. Finally, you can find some real-world examples linked for you here. Then, just like last week, we have a forum where you can practice writing a response. It's the same essay that you had on last week's forum, but now instead of summarizing, I want you to respond in one of the ways you learned about in your reading this week. Next, you'll have some tutorials on plagiarism. I cannot overemphasize how important this information is. You must cite every idea, fact, stat, word-for-word quotation, summary, and paraphrase you use from another source. If you don't, it's considered plagiarism. Even if you plagiarize unintentionally on the final draft, I must turn it into academic affairs. So please be sure to pay careful attention to what you learn in these tutorials and work to cite correctly. It is better to oversight than undercite. If you ever have a question about if you're citing something correctly, please be sure to ask. I'm happy to help you and much rather answer your questions before the final paper than have to take off points and turn it into academic affairs after the fact. Finally, you have your summary response essay draft due on Sunday, as well as your journal. You will need to cite the information you use from your sources in your summary response essay. I wasn't as strict on just the summary, but now that we have went over plagiarism and citing correctly, I will hold your work to MLA, and for those who are using the APA standards. If you have any questions about if you're citing something correctly, please don't hesitate to ask. We will be meeting one-on-one in week 5 to go over your draft together, and then would be a great time to ask any questions you have. Go ahead and go here to sign up for a conference time for week 5. If none of those times work for you, please go ahead and email me so we can set up an alternate time. To sum up week 4, you need to continue working on your Easy Writer tutorial and quizzes. Then on Tuesday you have this forum, your response to the forum is due Thursday, and then you have your summary response draft, plagiarism tutorial, and your journal due on Sunday. Due to all the assignments due on Sunday, this would be a great week to work on the course a little each day and not leave your assignments to the last minute. If you have any questions as you work, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm here to help.